The dawn of May 7th, 2025, broke over Rome like any other. Pilgrims stirred, their hearts filled with quiet anticipation. Little did they know, history was about to be made. The eyes of the world were on the Vatican specifically, the chimney atop the Sistine Chapel. White smoke, a symbol of consensus, would herald a new era for the Catholic Church. And then it happened. A plume of white smoke billowed into the clear morning sky. A collective gasp rippled through the square. The bells of St. Peter's Basilica erupted in joyous peals, their reverberations echoing the magnitude of the moment. "Habemus Papam! We have a pope!" The words rang out, carrying on the wings of the wind. Behind the hallowed walls of the Sistine Chapel, a centuries-old tradition had unfolded. The Cardinals, spiritual princes from every corner of the globe, had gathered for the sacred ritual of the Papal Conclave. Days of prayer, reflection, and deliberation had filled the hallowed space. The weight of their responsibility, of choosing the successor to St. Peter, rested heavily on their shoulders. Whispers of names, each carrying the weight of speculation and hope, had swirled amongst the assembled cardinals. The air crackled with the gravity of their decision. And then, in a moment of divine inspiration, a name emerged from the silence: Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle. The announcement, delivered in the traditional Latin from the balcony overlooking St. Peter's Square, sent shockwaves across the globe. Luis Antonio Tagle, a cardinal from the Philippines, had become Pope Luis I, the 267th Vicar of Christ. The first Asian Pope, the first Filipino Pope, a moment etched in the annals of history. The crowd erupted, a sea of faces awash in disbelief, and then jubilation. Cheers in countless languages rose in unison, a symphony of excitement and wonder. From the Americas to Africa, from Europe to Oceania, the news spread like wildfire, igniting a spark of hope in the hearts of 1.4 billion Catholics. Nowhere was the joy more palpable, more electrifying than in the Philippines. The news reverberated through the archipelago, turning ordinary streets into impromptu fiestas. Manila, the bustling heart of the nation, became a whirlwind of celebration. Confetti rained down from skyscrapers. Flags, both Vatican and Filipino, fluttered proudly in the tropical breeze. In Quiapo Church, a Manila landmark, thousands had kept vigil, their prayers intermingling with the scent of incense. When the news broke, tears of joy flowed freely. Strangers embraced, united in a shared moment of national pride and spiritual elation. The air reverberated with the rhythmic beat of drums and the joyous strains of traditional Filipino music. A shepherd from the Pearl of the Orient, Luis Antonio Tagle, the newly elected pope, was a man cut from a different cloth. Born and raised in the Philippines, his journey had taken him from the bustling streets of Manila to the hallowed halls of the Vatican. But through it all he had never forgotten his roots, his humility, his unwavering commitment to the poor and marginalized. His story resonated with millions around the world. He wasn't just a figurehead, a distant leader. He was one of them. A man who had walked among the people, who understood their joys and sorrows, their hopes and struggles. A shepherd who had not forgotten the smell of his sheep. Echoes of joy from every corner of the earth. The Catholic world watched, captivated by this humble man who had ascended to the papacy. From the megacities of Asia to the remote villages of Africa, from the vibrant communities of Latin America to the ancient churches of Europe, a shared sense of wonder and expectation filled the air. The Church had a new leader, one who embodied the spirit of compassion and unity. Social media erupted, hashtags like Pope Luis I and New Era for the Church trending worldwide. News channels ran continuous coverage, analyzing the implications of this historic election. The world was abuzz, united in its fascination with this unassuming man who had captured the hearts and imaginations of millions. A legacy forged in humility and compassion. Pope Luis I was known for his humility, his infectious smile, and his genuine compassion. He had dedicated his life to serving others, to being a voice for the voiceless. He had worked tirelessly for the poor, the sick, the forgotten. His papacy, many believed, signaled a return to the core values of Christianity: love, compassion, and service. His words, simple yet profound, resonated deeply with people from all walks of life. He spoke of unity, of dialogue, of building bridges instead of walls. He challenged the powerful and comforted the afflicted. He embodied the true spirit of a shepherd, leading by example, guiding with love. One flock, one shepherd, a vision of unity. The election of Pope Luis XIII carried a powerful message of unity and hope. In a world increasingly divided by conflict, intolerance and fear, his message of love and understanding resonated deeply. He represented a bridge between East and West, a symbol of the universality of the Catholic Church. His papacy promised to be a time of healing, of reaching out, of building bridges of understanding. He envisioned a church that embraced diversity, that celebrated its rich tapestry of cultures and traditions, a church that stood as a beacon of hope in a world yearning for peace and unity. A new chapter unfolds. As Pope Luis XIII stood on the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, his arms outstretched in a gesture of embrace, the world watched with bated breath. A new chapter had begun not just for the Catholic Church, but for humanity as a whole. The election of this humble man from the Philippines was a powerful reminder that leadership could be found in the most unexpected places. His papacy was a testament to the power of faith, humility, and compassion. As the sun set on that historic day, casting long shadows across St. Peter's Square, there was a palpable sense of hope in the air. The future, though uncertain, seemed brighter, filled with the promise of a new era of unity and love. The Conclave, a time-honored tradition. The Papal Conclave, steeped in centuries of tradition, is a profound event that shapes the future of the Catholic Church. This sacred gathering of cardinals, held within the walls of the Sistine Chapel, is a moment of deep reflection, prayer and discernment. It is a time when the Church seeks divine guidance to choose a shepherd who will lead the faithful. The conclave's historical significance cannot be overstated. It is a symbol of continuity, connecting the present with the rich tapestry of the Church's past. Each vote cast is a testament to the collective wisdom and faith of the cardinals, who carry the hopes and prayers of millions of Catholics worldwide. From the white smoke signaling Habemus Papam to the newly elected Pope's first address, the conclave is a powerful reminder of the enduring strength and unity of the Church. It is a moment that transcends borders, bringing together people from all walks of life in a shared sense of anticipation and hope. As Pope Luis XIII begins his papacy, the legacy of the conclave serves as a foundation upon which he will build his vision for the future. It is a legacy of faith, tradition, and unwavering commitment to the mission of the Church, to be a beacon of love, compassion, and unity in an ever-changing world. Before the white smoke rose, before the world knew his name, there was simply Luis, a man of profound humility and unwavering faith. Born in a modest neighborhood in Manila, Luis grew up amidst the vibrant culture and resilient spirit of the Filipino people. His early life was marked by the struggles and triumphs of a family deeply rooted in their Catholic faith. From a young age, Luis was drawn to the teachings of the Church. He found solace and purpose in the words of the gospel, and his heart was set on a path of service. His journey to priesthood was not without challenges, yet each obstacle only strengthened his resolve and deepened his connection to his faith and community. Luis's dedication to the marginalized and his passion for social justice became the hallmarks of his ministry. He was known for his tireless work in the slums of Manila, where he offered not just spiritual guidance but tangible hope to those in desperate need. His compassionate leadership and genuine love for his flock earned him the affectionate title of Shepherd of the Poor. As he rose through the ranks of the Church, his humility never wavered. His life was a testament to the power of faith, humility, and relentless service. It is these qualities that the Cardinals saw in him, qualities that they believed would make him not just a leader but a beacon of hope for the entire Catholic Church. Luis's election as Pope Luis I was not just a recognition of his past, it was a promise for the future. A future where the Church would be guided by a man whose life embodied the very essence of the teachings of Christ, a man who, even as he steps onto the world stage, carries with him the heart of a humble servant from Manila. As we look to the future, we remember the humble beginnings of Pope Luis I, and we are filled with hope for the journey ahead. For in his story we see the promise of a Church that remains steadfast in its mission to be a source of love, compassion and unity in an ever-changing world. As the news of Pope Luis III's election spread across the globe, the world reacted with a powerful wave of emotion and solidarity. In every corner of the earth, people of all backgrounds, faiths and cultures shared in the historic moment. In the bustling streets of New York City, people paused to watch the announcement on giant screens, their faces reflecting a mixture of curiosity and hope. "It's a new era for the Church," said one onlooker. Pope Luis IX's background and his work with the poor resonate deeply with many of us. Across Europe, from the cathedrals of Paris to the piazzas of Rome, the faithful gathered in prayer and celebration. In Madrid, church bells rang out in joyous peals, echoing through the ancient streets. "We see in him a shepherd who understands our struggles," a parishioner in Barcelona remarked, her eyes filled with tears of joy. In Africa, communities celebrated with traditional dances and songs. In Nairobi, a local priest spoke of the inspiration Pope Luis IX brings. His story is one of perseverance and faith. It gives us hope that the Church will continue to stand with the marginalized and oppressed. In Latin America, where Catholicism holds deep roots, the election of Pope Luis I was met with an outpouring of joy. In Brazil, massive crowds gathered for impromptu masses, their voices lifted in unison. "He is one of us," said a young man in Buenos Aires. "He understands our challenges and our dreams." In Asia, from the temples of India to the skyscrapers of Tokyo, the news was met with a profound sense of connection. In Manila, the streets were filled with jubilant crowds, waving flags and singing hymns. "Our pride and joy," exclaimed an elderly woman, her voice shaking with emotion. "Pope Luis I is a symbol of hope for all of us." Even in regions where Christianity is a minority, there was a recognition of the significance of this moment. In the Middle East, a Christian family in Beirut lit candles and offered prayers for the new pope. "We pray for peace and unity," they said, "and for Pope Luis I to be a beacon of hope for all humanity." As the sun set on this historic day, the world stood united in a shared sense of hope and anticipation. Pope Luis I's election was more than just a religious milestone. It was a testament to the enduring power of faith, compassion, and the human spirit. A new chapter had begun, not just for the Catholic Church, but for the global community, united in a vision of love, service, and unity. From every corner of the earth, the message was clear. The world is ready to stand with Pope Luis I as he leads with the heart of a humble shepherd and the spirit of a true servant of God. As the world collectively celebrates the election of Pope Luis I, many are looking ahead, contemplating the potential future direction of the Catholic Church under his leadership. Known for his deep-rooted humility and compassion, Pope Luis I's vision is anticipated to bring transformative changes to the Church's approach to modern challenges. One of the key areas of focus is likely to be social justice. Pope Luis I has long been an advocate for the marginalized and oppressed, and his papacy is expected to amplify the Church's voice on issues such as poverty, inequality, and human rights. His background in working with the poor in the slums of Manila provides a unique perspective that resonates with the global call for a more inclusive and compassionate Church. Environmental stewardship is another significant aspect of Pope Luis I's anticipated agenda. With the growing urgency of climate change, the new Pope is poised to champion ecological sustainability and responsible stewardship of the Earth. His previous statements on the interconnectedness of all creation suggest a holistic approach that aligns with the Church's teachings on caring for our common home. Interfaith dialogue and unity are also expected to be central to Pope Luis I's leadership. In a world often divided by religious and cultural differences, his emphasis on building bridges and fostering mutual understanding holds the promise of a more harmonious global community. His efforts to engage with leaders of other faiths aim to promote peace and collaboration, transcending boundaries and fostering a spirit of global solidarity. Within the Church, Pope Luis I's leadership is anticipated to inspire a renewed focus on pastoral care and spiritual renewal. His commitment to humility and service sets a powerful example for clergy and lay people alike, encouraging a deeper connection to the core values of the Gospel. The new Pope's approach to governance, characterized by transparency and inclusivity, is expected to foster a more participatory and engaged church community. As Pope Luis I embarks on his papal journey, the world watches with hopeful anticipation. His leadership embodies a vision of a church that is not only a beacon of faith, but also a force for positive change in an ever-evolving world. The future path of the Catholic Church under Pope Louis I's guidance is one that promises to navigate the complexities of modernity with grace, compassion, and unwavering faith. The dawn of Pope Louis I's papacy marks the beginning of a new era, one that seeks to unite the global community in a shared mission of love, justice and stewardship. As we stand on the threshold of this exciting chapter, the potential for meaningful transformation and enduring hope shines brightly, illuminating the way forward for the Catholic Church and the world at large. As we reflect on the 2025 Vatican Papal Conclave, it stands out as a momentous event in the annals of the Catholic Church, marked by profound discernment and spiritual gravitas. The conclave, held within the sacred walls of the Sistine Chapel, brought together 120 cardinal electors from diverse corners of the globe. Each cardinal carried with them the hopes and prayers of millions of faithful, tasked with the solemn duty of electing the new shepherd for the Church. The conclave commenced with a mass invoking the Holy Spirit's guidance, a tradition steeped in centuries of reverence. As the cardinals entered the Sistine Chapel, the doors were ceremoniously locked, a poignant symbol of their seclusion from the outside world. The gravity of the moment was palpable as each cardinal approached the altar to take the oath of secrecy, pledging to uphold the sanctity of the election process. Over the following days, the cardinals engaged in deep prayer and reflection, seeking divine wisdom in their deliberations. The atmosphere was one of solemnity and unity, as the cardinals, representing various cultures and perspectives, came together with a common purpose. The iconic black and white smoke signals from the chapel's chimney kept the world in suspense, a visual reminder of the weighty decisions being made within. The turning point came on the fourth day of the conclave, when white smoke finally billowed from the chimney, signaling the election of the new pope. The world watched with bated breath as the announcement was made. Habemus Papam, the newly elected Pope Louis I, emerged onto the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, greeted by the jubilant cheers of the faithful gathered below and millions more watching around the globe. Pope Louis I's first words as the new pontiff resonated deeply as he humbly asked for the people's prayers and pledged to lead with compassion and humility. His election marked a historic moment as he became the first pope from the Philippines, bringing a new perspective and a renewed sense of hope to the Church. The 2025 Papal Conclave will be remembered not only for the election of Pope Louis I, but also for the spirit of unity and discernment that permeated the process. It was a testament to the enduring strength of the Church and its ability to navigate the complexities of the modern world with faith and grace. As we look back on this pivotal event, we are reminded of the profound impact it has had on the global Catholic community. The conclave was a beacon of hope, illuminating the path forward and setting the stage for a new era of leadership under Pope Louis I. The legacy of the 2025 Vatican Papal Conclave will undoubtedly inspire generations to come, as the Church continues its mission of love, justice and stewardship under the guidance of its new shepherd. Please subscribe to our channel History Documentary Hub for more insightful videos and intriguing content.